Okay, so let's go ahead and get back into business and let's continue. So next section is going to be items. Okay, a student should know how QuickBooks uses items to perform the necessary accounting behind the scenes. Okay, so as we know, right, it associates each item with so what are items actually used for? Let's answer that question.
To give more details to accounts.
Exactly. So just by answering that question, right, we know that behind the scenes, every time we use an item, it's going to just recategorize the debits and credit system behind the scenes. And every item that we use is usually associated with an account. So it will either increase it or decrease each account by using the item. So good. That's pretty straightforward. The different types of items and when to use each one. So again, this is on page 212 in chapter 7. It's a list of those 9 items that we talked about. Okay, and it's pretty straightforward, right? When we're looking at items, when do we actually make those items? Oops, I'm on my account, so let me go back to my items real quick. All right, and tell me, when do you need to use each item? Okay. A pretty standard, straightforward. When do you use a service item?
When you use a service item, when you're performing a service.
Exactly. Perfect. I'm not asking you for a difficult answer. I'm just asking to answer the question, and that is correct. When do we use an inventory part?
When you have an inventory and you need to specify what it is or give some more details.
Okay. Now, I'm going to have a question for you because right under that is going to be non-inventory part. What's the difference between using an inventory part versus a non-inventory part?
Non-inventory part are parts that makes up a product that you don't really sell that part. I can't put it into words.
You do sell this part. Yes, you do. You can sell a non-inventory part.
Okay, but I guess I'm thinking of that example they had. The cake. The flour, the sugar, all of that is a non-inventory part.
Correct, and that's what you guys have. You have the assembly section in your inventory. Mine, I don't have it, but for general purposes only. Okay. That is not exactly why you would use an inventory part over a non-inventory part. Okay.
Okay, so that's like an assembly part.
Yes. The building the cake is an example of an assembly. Yes.
Okay.
So it's not something that you're actually selling, or yeah.
You can sell non-inventory parts. Yes, you can.
Oh, okay, that's right. Okay. Then there's a reason. So isn't there there's another reason why?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shoot, that was one of our questions somewhere. I don't remember how that's set up.
Okay. I'll give you a little hint. It's like using perpetual versus periodic.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so okay, I guess we had to do another accounting 101 review.
Yeah.
What is the difference between perpetual and periodic inventory?
Yeah, we know that perpetual is constantly, and we know that QuickBooks deals with perpetual.
Correct, but okay, but I'm applying an accounting concept. When we're dealing with perpetual inventory, you said constantly. What are we? What's constantly?
That
Oh,
means it's always updated every time
mm-hmm,
there's a transaction.
Mm-hmm.
right.
And then periodic. When do we care to know how much inventory there
No.
is? No.
No.
So that is the exact thing here. Inventory part is when we want to keep track of it, every ins and outs, and knows
Oh.
everything about it. Non-inventory, we don't really care too much for it.
Right.
That's yeah. Okay. All right. When do we? Okay. So then, when do we use other charges? Pretty straightforward. If you want to do extra charges, subtotals, pretty straightforward. When you want to add things up, groups. How do you use group items?
Items. Mm, okay. Group items.
When we have more than one, I keep thinking of the taxes, that we're
Mm.
charging to both locations to the different classes
Well,
because it
Right.
applies the same.
you can use group for that, but there is an actual sales house group at the right below.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
specifically, yeah. Okay, well, mm, I,
Group items are hmm. Like when you're selling, well, for the services, if you're selling the photo shoot and you're also selling the paper and the parts that go with it or that they need, that would be group. Okay.
Yes. If you're selling
oh,
a
I
bundle
think of that as
package.
a package.
Yes, when you're selling either a bundle
Yeah.
or a package, right? You
Right.
can use
Mm-hmm.
groups to bundle them up. Yes.
Oh,
Right. Right. A
okay,
bundle.
so that
Right.
refers to, okay, I'm
Yeah,
totally
and it
with
doesn't
you.
matter whether it's a service, an inventory
Mm-hmm.
part, or a non-inventory part. You can combine either or.
Okay.
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 Yes.
So,
Okay.
package,
All right. Next
okay.
is how to use items for different types of scenarios. Okay, so that's the same thing. For example, um, okay, right. For example, um, how do you use items for specified prices? So again, you use price levels for that. We didn't talk about price levels, but it's in your book. I believe that is chapter. I want to say that's chapter 7. Under customizing price levels. So what price levels is basically charging your customers at a specific type of level. For example, in QuickBooks, we have commercial customers, so daily, just people that are on the daily, right? Just regular customers. Um, we also can charge them. See, we only have commercial for this one, but you can charge them. You can charge them based on those kind of things, such as you can even charge them for out of state, right? Are you going to charge them a different price than for the commercial ones that actually just buy it from you? You can, if it's like a nonprofit organization, you can charge them a special discounted one. For example, right? Anybody that's a veteran, you can charge them a discounted price because they're veterans, right? They get that
Mm-hmm.
little special discount, so you can create a price level for them, and you could charge them for that point. Now, what a price level is, it's like basically either a markup value or a discount, right? You can charge them for a lower amount of money versus you would for a regular customer.
Okay.
Okay. So that's what price levels are and understanding how to use that.
Okay.
All right, next one is deleting entries. Again, never delete entries.
Right, right.
I don't know why I put credit memo under delete entries. Oh, right. How do we use items to get rid of a transaction?
Say it again, to get rid of the what?
To get rid of a transaction, how do you zero out a transaction?
Oh, the zero check.
Yes.
That's one way you can do it is, but remember, zero check is to transfer from one account to another, or one item for another, right? This is actually getting rid of it, and we would use credit memos, right? So
Yeah.
this is going to be along the lines of when we have our customer and they're not willing to pay. So in order to get rid of their debt that they owe us, you would use a credit memo
Right.
to essentially delete the transaction when you're really not deleting. You're just finding a way to transfer the
Kind
money
of
out.
a write-off.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It is a write-off, yes. All right, using service for specific prices. Okay, we talked about using services, right? You just use the service item. All right, unique products and services that have different prices for each one. So again, right? When we get a custom built item, right? You can mark it up, and you can change the value on how much you want to charge that customer, right? So that's the ability to change the different prices for that. And having unique products. So remember when we bought that custom camera for Maria Cruz, right? You can buy it, and we marked her up 20% for it. Okay. And then one service or product, we already know how to do that. Okay, so the next section is going to be dealing with sales. Now, a student needs to know, okay, when. Okay, sorry. They need to know who should be listed as a customer.
Oh,
Customers you sell to.
Exactly, right? That's, really basic questions, okay? All the people that you sell to, right? Question to you, this is also going to be on the next exam. Actually, I think that was on the previous exam. Can your vendor be a customer?
Yes, but you can't use the same name, or you have to change
Correct.
the title or something a little bit.
Yes, correct, right? You would have to write the same name, but you might have to do a V for vendor and then C for customer, right? Something to make yourself realize that we're billing this person as a customer versus receiving a bill from them as a vendor. Okay, so making some kind of unique difference. But yes, your customer can be a vendor. So it's basically anybody that you sell to. All right, how to navigate and use the customer center. Pretty straightforward, that one I would say.
Yeah, it's
customer
Right.
center.
like multiple ways to do that.
Yeah, customer center. You can go to that right on the menu bar.
Menu bar, customer. Menu bar. Oh, I'm sorry, I hit the wrong one. Menu bar, customers. Good. Customer center.
Yeah.
You can go to the customer center on your icon bar. And lastly, the customer center here on your home
Right on
page.
the home.
Now, the question is not asking how to get to the customer center. The question is how to navigate the customer center.
Oh, okay.
All right, so pretty straightforward, the customer center.
Yeah.
If you need to add a customer, you can just do customer. If a customer has a specific transaction, you can do a new transaction. And then again, here is the information on the right side about the customer and about all of their and all their transactions below. And then you could do manage transactions at the bottom for each customer. And you can also right click to get the more expansive transactions you can do for this customer. So Pretty straightforward as far as navigating the customer center. All right, how to complete the workflow from sales to making the deposit. Pretty straightforward. What is the sales process?
Go from go, let's see, go from interbill to pay bill.
We're dealing with our
We're
customers.
creating invoice.
Oh,
Creating
invoice, I'm sorry.
yes.
Yeah, create invoice,
Mm-hmm.
and then receive payment,
And then
and then record deposits.
correct. Hold on. Let me. Yes. Okay. Good. Now, what if we just sell a product on at the store and they paid us at that very moment?
They did
Then
what?
we create a sales receipt.
You need to create a sales receipt, and because you've already received the payment, it just goes straight into the undeposited funds. So good. That's the correct way to how to do a workflow. All right, and you can either receive payment either by check, Visa, credit card, electronic transfer, whatever it is. Okay, good. Okay, so how QuickBooks uses the undeposited funds, accounts receivable, and what's that say? And checking account in the invoices cycle. All right, so how do we basically transfer the money? How does QuickBooks use this cycle to be able to grab our money and place it into our bank account and also have it visible on our check register?
So you can, if you're not going to deposit it that day, you can put it in the undeposited funds.
Yes, so if we click
You can
undeposited
track it.
funds,
Right.
it gives you a list of all the transactions that you have not cleared yet. Now, obviously, credit card transactions will go straight to your bank.
Mm-hmm.
This is more along with if you're receiving a check or receiving cash.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to properly deposit first in your bank and then update QuickBooks. That's generally the rule of thumb. You want to do the transaction first in real life versus doing it here and completely forgetting to do it, and you notice that your bank is outstanding for some reason. Okay, yes, so understanding how you can transfer it, you're going to go to undeposited funds, you're going to select all the checks and cash that you have, and you're going to go ahead and press transfer or save and close. And then once you've done that and you go to your check register, it should automatically let you know what your deposit was.
Right.
Okay, pretty straightforward. Okay, now the next question is how and why to record a customer credit.
If a customer,
Oh, sorry.
if a customer overpays,
Mm-hmm.
Or returns
Yes,
a product,
right. Mm-hmm.
or cancels an order.
correct.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one more key feature that you use the credit memo for.
Oh, well, okay, let's see. We did a return.
Mm-hmm.
We did. Gosh, what did we just say?
We said a return.
This is
Mm-hmm.
what I mean. It's like, oh my gosh, we just said two or three of them, and I only remember one.
So good.
Okay.
So we have.
Yeah, if they overpaid or you
Mm-hmm.
overcharged.
Mm-hmm. If they decided to pay in full and they met the discount period, but they didn't know themselves, right? So they overpaid. So we just kindly give their money back and we give them a credit.
Okay. Cancellation.
Cancellation. Uh huh.
Damage.
If they returned, good.
What's the other one?
You said if they took a discount, or if they meet the net, the discount period, yeah, just like that.
Okay, so I'm gonna categorize the discounts with the returns as one.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Okay. Now I have a question for you guys.
Mhm.
What happens when a customer refuses to pay?
Refuses to pay.
Mm-hmm. Says, I don't want to pay you.
So it's going to be a bad debt write-off?
Yes, a bad debt write-off is the last thing we use a credit memo for, and that's why we use credit. Yeah, customer credits. Yes. All right. So again, we have, you can okay.
Okay, so bad debt is the last one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, again, when we are giving our customers our credit backs, what are the three options that we're given to do with that credit, right? We're given three options. We can either apply it to the current invoice, we can either save it,
Or, okay.
we can save it for future invoices, or we can just give them their money back. Write a check and just give it back to them, right? Now, okay, why? We already talked about that. To write off bad debt, good. If they overpaid, if they returned or have a discount on it, and if they cancel. So good. You guys got all four.
Okay.
Now, how and why to create statements. So let's work on the how. How do you create statements? This is for customers only.
What's for customers? Okay.
Okay, you go to customers on the menu.
Customers on the menu. Oh, that's no, that was right. Customers on the menu.
Okay, and then it says create statements.
Create statements. Good. Oh, that's estimates. Create.
Down to one, yeah.
There you go. Create. Okay, good. Create. Yeah. All right. Good. You can also do it here on the home page right here under statements.
Statements.
And of course, if you go into the customer center, you can also do customer statements there. Now, what is the purpose of producing a customer statement?
To give a summary of their account status.
Mm-hmm.
Show if they owe, what they owe,
Mm-hmm.
what their balance is.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So basically, their transaction activity. Good.
Yeah.
All right, so that one's there. Okay. Now the next question is going to be. Oh, no, I can't do it. Anyway, so how to handle bounced checks? Okay. We looked at this. The information's on page 152. Okay, so the scenario gives you two scenarios. What happens if a customer gives you a bounced check? What if a customer gives you a bounced check?
We gotta go to receive payments,
Mm-hmm.
and then.
Well, let me see if I go.
It's got, let's see. Oh, what did you just do?
Oh, I went to previous so you can see an example.
Oh, I see.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Then you enter NSF.
Where are we going to write NSF?
Right below.
No. No, of course. That's not correct.
The check number.
Yes.
3947.
Check number 39. Where do you see 3947?
At the top of the thing.
I have 5256. I don't know where you're getting 3947 from.
Oh, that's the invoice number.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you record a bounced check?
Okay.
You go, let me see, you open the receive payment window
Mm-hmm.
and click previous customer payment window for Bob Mason. Oh, I'm looking for him, yeah.
Now, at the top, it says record bounce check.
Uh-huh. At the top of what?
Uh, the, oh, that, what do you call that, the menu?
I guess you could just call this as
Yeah.
just at the top of the. Yeah, you're right. I was just making sure you knew. Okay, yes, it says right here record bounce check.
Yeah.
Right.
So I click record bounce check, and what is this window telling me? How much is the bank gonna charge you? Whatever the bank charges you.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
put it in there.
And then what do we get to do after that?
Oh,
We get to tack on an additional fee to our customers because they
because we're being charged a fee and
exactly.
yeah.
Yes, exactly. So I'm gonna go ahead and click cancel. So yeah, that's how you do it, right? From my best knowledge, that is the only way you can record a bounce check. I believe what you can do too is if for any reason, let me see if I'm gonna go into my customer center. All right, and I go to Bob Mason. I don't think I can do this. I think that's again. I think that is the only way you can record a bounce check. You can't just you can't right click this, can you? Let me see. Can you bounce? Nope. So the only way you can do it is just by going to the customer payment and window and just click that record bounce check. That's the only thing you can do. All right. So what happens if you wrote a bad check?
You can contact the vendor
Mm-hmm.
and see how they want you to handle it.
Mm-hmm. Good.
They want you to re-enter the check or to send a replacement check
Uh-huh.
or to pay by credit card.
Okay. Yeah. I guess you can do that. Yes, you can. All right. Now we're done with that page. Finally, was that 3 pages now? 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we finished 3 pages. We got 2 more to go. All right. Actually, wait. Did we do sales already? Yes, we did. Okay, we got 1 more page left.
Oh, we didn't do sales?
Oh, we
Yeah,
just,
we did.
We just did that one. Yep. Okay, we got 1 more page left. Okay, so this one is for purchases. Okay, so let's see what a student should know for purchases is who should be on the list of vendors. Pretty straightforward. Can you list any vendors that you can think of?
it's all the
Ace.
yeah, Ace is one of them.
Yeah, Ace is one of them.
Okay, now, okay, so what is the definition of a vendor? What do they do for you?
Or
They sell
they're merchants who, you, purchase something from or use their, purchase service or
Purchase
products.
service. Good. Okay, good. So, that's correct. It's going to be anything that you purchase items from, okay? Whether it's for inventory, whether it's for something that you have like supplies, right? Anything, yes, to get your business up and running, right? Anything that you need from there. That's one type of vendor. The second type of vendor is anything that provides service for you, such as a plumber, right? They're gonna provide a service for you because maybe your sink is not working, right? It's basically anybody that you can that they can bill you for, whether you're buying from them, so so basically they sell products to you, or they provide a service to you. And another one would be independent contractors, right? People who work for you.
Oh, right.
right? They're considered independent contractors. They're not considered your employees. They're considered your vendors because they're offering for you to borrow their service.
Right.
So they would be considered a vendor. Good. How to navigate using the vendor center? Pretty straightforward. It's identical to navigating the customer center. So if you know how to navigate the customer center, it's it's the same thing. They're identical, right? You come here. The only thing that's different is what transactions you can do for a vendor versus a customer. Okay. So that one's pretty straightforward. Next one is the different workflows when it comes to purchases. So again, understanding this part right here, let me go ahead and close the vendor center, and I'm going to reactivate my inventory. Okay, because remember when I took it off, now I got to reactivate it. So here I have my active. So I'm going to activate it, yes. And then there goes my home page. Now let's pop up my home page. Here you go. So understanding the workflow of how to make a purchase order, right? So what is this one? So why do I use purchase orders?
To keep track of what you're,
Yeah.
of what you're purchasing.
Correct, right? It makes keeping track of your purchases a lot easier. And once you've done that, it allows QuickBooks to recognize the items that you're supposed to be receiving, and it creates the inventory workflow for you automatically instead of having to go into inventory, update the quantity and the value of inventory, right? Instead of doing that all the time, you can just do it right here through purchase orders, and it will do it behind the scenes for you, right? What comes after turning in the purchase orders?
We receive the inventory.
Yes, but there are two things that we have to look into. All right.
Bill and without bill.
Yeah.
What happens when you receive it without a bill?
You put it in there, should be somewhere on here. You can accept it without a bill. You can accept inventory without a bill, and you can see. I don't see it here.
All right. So what happens?
Chapter 8, wasn't it?
Correct.
Yeah. Now they see something. Yeah, enter bills against inventory.
Right, but you need to.
And then
There's a step before that.
before that, so then we've got, okay. So you actually don't record it, but at the, oh goodness, is that it?
You don't create an invoice.
Yeah, right, that's a purchase order. I guess,
Well, it shows you just got to go to one of them. There's two options there: receive inventory with bill or receive inventory without bill.
right.
So if we receive it with bill, we click on the with bill.
Okay. Yes, of course. It's straightforward like that. But what I'm asking you here isn't the action that you're doing. My question to you is what happens when I record inventory without a bill? What form do I see? Is that my question? Is what I'm asking. What form will pop up if I decide to choose I receive inventory without the bill? What happens there? What am I creating there?
Accounts payable.
Not accounts payable because you haven't received the bill yet. Okay, I'll give you another hint. It's a type of receipt.
Item receipt.
Item receipt. Yes.
Okay, I knew there was something there.
You're going, okay, so what this does is an item receipt basically records that you received the inventory. That's it. Okay? Now, once you've done that, okay, so this usually happens, and what you get is you're going to get a a package slip, right? It pretty much gives you a detail of what was sent to you. It doesn't give you how much that you owe. It just gives you what this package is shipped to you for. It's called a packaging slip, right? It tells you, okay, I sent you 500 items out of 1,000. Okay? And that's where we record it here saying, well, we did not receive a bill, but we received at least half of the inventory. Okay?
Right.
Once we've done that, that's considered an item receipt. Then we have what's called enter against inventory. This is where we're going to receive the second half, the second item receipt. We're going to record it. And then once we do that, we're going to convert the item receipt into a bill.
A bill, right.
So that is that step here. And everything goes forth because it's already in your inventory. You don't have to update anything. And all you have to do is just pay the bill. Now, if you just record that you received the inventory with the bill, you're just going to get a simple bill. Straightforward. So,
Okay.
there you go. Okay, so the next one is what's the difference between workflows for making purchases? We've already just talked about it. Entering a bill. Okay, so there are things that you can do, right? You can write a check, right? You can write a check using the check register. You could also write a check using the write a check icon. You can also do that through the bank menu to write a check. Okay, pretty straightforward. Using credit card transactions, pretty straightforward, right? You have to enter the credit card transaction on the home page. You also have the menu bar to enter the credit card charge. And you can also use a chart of accounts, go into your credit card, and just enter it in through the register that way. Okay. What about using a debit card?
Well, isn't that like cash?
Yes.
Yeah, that is right. That's exactly what it is. Because it's connected to your bank.
How do you record a debit card transaction?
Well, you can go to banking.
Banking.
And then choose checking account.
Okay.
Let me see. Can you do checking account?
Zero order, credit card, no.
No.
Use register.
Use register. Okay, make sure you're in the correct one. Checking. Okay.
Yeah, there's the checking.
All right. So how do you type it in though?
Well, put debit.
Yes, good. Instead of doing a check number, you're just gonna write debit. There you go. Perfect. And then you could do the same thing by using the write a checks icon, right? Instead of when you write a check, right? Instead of actually physically writing a check, in the top here where it says check number, you just write debit card.
Oh, okay.
Good. All right. See, Lee, you remembered that from last time.
Oh, you know what? There's a lot more that you taught that I just wish I remembered.
Okay.
No, I've read the book. I don't know how many times now.
Good.
And then at the end of it, I'm thinking, what did did I just read? you know. And then anyway, I you went through the practice tests
Mm-hmm.
and all of that, and I thought, girls, you don't know what they're asking.
Yeah.
I went blank. It's like, well, so I'm glad we're having this review because
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't feel as bad
And
as I
you're not
did.
alone with that. Lee, you're not alone with
No,
that.
oh my gosh, Andrea, at the weekend I was in tears. I'm thinking, oh my,
Oh,
there's something wrong with me. And
Okay.
I mean, I just never struggled this much just trying to think.
yeah.
Trying to
Yeah.
keep the same train of thought
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
for a little period of time. Just
Mhm.
to think things through. I lose myself, and
Mhm.
I've never been like that.
Mhm.
Not like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, hopefully they'll take care of that.
But
So it's
it could be the medicine, like you were saying, 'cause,
yeah. Well,
you know.
there is one that specifically says that it
Mhm.
affects your
Yeah.
mental
Yeah.
stamina, your fatigue, and
Mhm.
memory.
I
It
take
did.
blood pressure medicine, and it does the same thing to me. It can knock me out.
Yeah,
You know,
mine's a
I have no energy.
cholesterol. Yeah, mine's a cholesterol thing.
Oh,
Mm.
okay. Yeah.
A
Okay.
statin.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh,
so I'm not taking it. I don't care what they say. I'm tired of
Mhm.
it.
okay.
Um, anyway, uh,
All right.
I think I can. If I could just pass and then just work on,
Mhm.
reviewing, and
Mm-hmm.
hopefully I
Right.
never get a response from into it. So I'm still not able to get into the files. But the
Yeah.
review today, I can see,
Mhm.
and it's not the first time Lynn's done that. Navigate for
Mhm.
us. I'm getting a little more, and each time she does it, I'm feeling more familiar with it.
Yeah,
Good.
a little more
Good.
confident because I'm a little hesitant with it too. I'm trying to get it together because I haven't opened mine yet. I'm so afraid of doing something wrong and I won't have anyone to talk to.
Yeah,
Although I
well,
guess,
they said within two working work days. Today's the second work day because I emailed. I was chatting with somebody, and then they gave me the email.
oh,
Oh.
okay.
To email someone to help me,
Mhm.
Okay.
and it
Mhm.
says that it may take 2 business days to
Okay.
respond. Well, they haven't yet. So
Oh, okay.
hopefully, I was hoping they could do it like before
Mm-hmm.
our test.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I do have a question for you. Are you installing this on a laptop or a home computer?
It's a laptop.
Okay, so what you could do is there are people on campus. I know it is difficult to get you there, but I mean, honestly, because you're a student and all you need to do is just get a program on there on your computer, they be able to help you be able to go through the whole process and do it for you and get the program onto your
Oh,
computer.
really?
Hmm.
Oh, wow. That would
Hmm.
be a great help.
But the only thing is, it has to be a laptop. It can't. If it's a computer,
Yeah,
computer,
I have a
unfortunately,
desktop
they
too.
wouldn't be able to help you there. It has to be something you have to bring
We have
in.
to bring our laptop in,
You have
right?
to bring your laptop, bring your book. All right.
Uh-huh.
Follow the steps
Okay.
and email it, and they will help you download it on there for you.
Do we need to call somebody first?
I would highly recommend you to schedule someone, but normally we usually do it on Fridays.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Okay.
well, that would be our test is
Oh, my
Thursday,
goodness.
Friday. Yeah.
Oh
Oh,
yeah. Okay. Well, unfortunately, okay. For this specific exact example again, I don't really gear towards what you are navigating. I gear towards what you read in the book.
Yeah,
okay.
Okay.
exactly.
So navigation only helps you.
Oh, yeah.
But for what I'm talking about is for future when you need to practice QuickBooks, you are more than
Mm-hmm.
welcome to come to campus. It's right now there's only like 3 people on campus, and besides the people that are testing, there's no one in the accounting room. Not even me. I'm not there. I'm at home.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are more than welcome to come in because in that accounting room, every single computer has QuickBooks. You can practice QuickBooks there if you're having trouble doing it at home. Now, again, due to COVID, and if you do have an autoimmune system, I would highly recommend you not to do that. But again, just reach out to somebody to help you get in there. Like as far as if you can't, if Intuit's not really helping you, well, we could also help you out as well because we are the providers of this, book. So we should be able to also help you, and we have
You
people on
pointed
team.
out a phone number to call.
Hmm.
Um, and the person I was chatting with said, because I asked for that phone number,
Hmm.
and she said, no, you can only email. But I know you pointed to a phone number to call. But I don't remember where you were pointing, where that was.
Actually, it might be in your book too. Like, go to the last page of your book where it says where to download, and it should give you an option to contact Intuit, and you can do that. It's pretty straightforward. Just go to QuickBooks.com, go to customer service, and it should give you a 24-hour technical support phone number. Okay, so before we do that, we are still recording. So I want to make sure that we finish this up, and then I can answer those questions for you after class, and it's also 4 o'clock. So,
Okay.
so let's go ahead and finish this up. We only have whoa shoot never mind. I guess we have longer than that than I expected. But yes, so we've already went through sales. Okay, now we're going through purchases. So again, what's the purpose of us using vendor credits? Why do we use vendor credits?
Okay, where are we?
Under credit,
Well, same reason why we give
give
customers.
credits, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're returning
Mm-hmm.
uh, items,
Mm-hmm.
or we receive damaged items.
Mm-hmm.
We cancel an order.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're not bad.
Yes, so it's not technically the same as a customer credit.
Yeah. So we
But
cancel.
yes,
We
both cases we would use the vendor credit solemnly for just returning our products. Okay.
To return the product.
Yeah, just to return the products or cancel a product in this case. Yes. Now the question here is, how do we record a vendor credit? How do we
we
record
go
a
to
vendor? Mhm.
well, we go to vendors, vendor
Vendors,
center,
Oh,
vendor center. Okay.
onto the vendor,
and then whoever we're whoever.
Let's just say Ace Supplies. Actually, wait.
Okay.
We don't have anything for them. Let's do this one.
How about say okay?
It's the only thing we have for them. Okay. No, actually, let's just do a supply. So let's just use them as an example. We don't have to make a current transaction. I just want you to to recognize how we're going to get a vendor credit. So go ahead. Oh, I
Okay.
closed them out. All right. So a supply. How do we do a vendor credit from a supply?
base supplies,
Manage transactions.
Manage transactions.
Let me see.
purchase
Item
orders,
receipt bills, purchase orders.
that's,
Six.
doesn't say anything about credits.
Good.
Oh, it's not there. Wait a minute.
Of course, it's
That
not there.
one that we went to. Go on up to where is this? This.
Say that again. Where's this?
Well, up there, I think it says this fiscal something, but only. No, that's not it. Hang on a second. Let me. but no, that's not it.
That could be in the vendor, list. Yeah.
Vendors list, yes, you'd be able to find it there.
Oh, that's right, we're in the vendor center. Okay.
But where would it be?
Vendor bills, see items, list items, item list,
No, would it be under under the bills?
Yes, under bills,
Oh,
good.
wow, that was
Good.
it's a bill.
Yes, it would be under bills.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
And what do you see at the very top here?
Yeah.
Credit.
Credit, yes.
Yes. So when I say yes, you can do it through the vendor center. Yes, you have to go through the bill first,
Yeah.
and then you'd be able to get to the credit. Yes. All right. So anywhere that you can get a bill, you can get a credit. All right. Good. Now we already talked about how and why. What's next? Bank reconciliation. Oh, actually. How to set up and collect a pay sales tax. We know that one. You have to set that up by having a sales tax account. Then you got to create the sales tax item, and then you actually have to change it in your edit preferences that you do charge sales tax. Those are pretty straightforward things. Right? Those are pretty much what is this, chapter 12 here, chapter 7 here, and this is again chapter 12. All right, what about bank reconciliation? Okay, what about bank reconciliation?
Okay.
We need the bank statement.
Correct, you need the bank statement. Okay, how do you reconcile the bank?
Under banking.
Banking on on where?
Right, and then reconciliation.
You could do banking, reconcile, yes.
Reconcile.
And then you can also reconcile on the home page. Now, of course, you need your bank statement, so that's pretty straightforward. If you need a refresher on that, this is chapter 5. All right, payroll. Okay, so we just went over payroll. So this whole section is actually, we definitely need to go over. Definitely very important that we do go over. This is the part that we skipped because we haven't done payroll yet. So let's go ahead and, I'm in purchases, payroll. Okay, a student should know, what is the difference between the payroll services available from QuickBooks? So, what are the 3 payroll services that you can have?
The basic.
Mm-hmm.
The advanced. The basic. I know you gotta subscribe to these things.
Good. Okay.
What chapter?
It's a basic, enhanced, and full service.
Correct. Now, for me, because you guys have the basic, enhanced, and full service. For me, because I'm using the 2019, I only have basic, enhanced, and assisted. All right. So pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward. If you want to know to learn more details, it is listed here on what it can do for you. So the difference would be just like pretty much what is included in here. Do you need to know this full? I wouldn't focus too much about it. Just understanding what the 3 services are.
Oh, okay.
And obviously, as we go from basic to full service, right, you can expect you're going to get more bang for your buck. Okay, so next thing that we're going to do is, next question is going to be how to set up payroll. All right, include the employee's federal and state taxes and what does that say? Basic payroll deductions using the payroll setup wizard. All right. So this is again chapter 11. Chapter 10, right? When we had to set up our payroll, it took us forever to set up our payroll. But we got to look at one, do you offer to your employees? Right? Are they salary based? Are they wage based? Are they regular? What are they? Are they special circumstances? What are they? Then the second thing you're going to do is you're going to determine do they have any additional deductions, such as do you offer vacation pay? Do you offer sick pay? Do you offer a 401k plan? Do you offer them special medical insurance, health insurance, right? Do you offer vision, dental, and I forgot what the last one was. Vision, dental, that package, right? Do you offer that? Okay. Do you offer a retirement account, an IRA, individual retirement, right? Do you offer that? And if you do, that means they have to pay into their pay from their paychecks to that. Then the next portion is going to be additional deductions such as fringe benefits. Okay. And then after that, you're going to be setting them up per se, understanding you need to have their full information, including their social security number, their marital status, how many withholdings do they need to take from you. So again, you're going to find that on your W-4 form. And what brackets they belong into. So, of course, just by understanding all that information, okay? And then after that, we're going to be setting up what taxes that they need to go through, such as federal, right? They have the federal income tax withholdings. They have to pay into their FICA, which is the Federal Insurance Contribution Act. So, contributing to their Social Security and also contributing to their Medicare. All right. So again, that whole process took us a long time, and having to do that. And in order to know what that is, again, I highlighted that page in chapter 10, the 10 steps that you need to know ahead of time before setting up payroll. You need to collect all of your information from each employee. But most importantly, even before all of those steps, you need to make a list of what you offer to your employees. That's like right there should be list number one, not collecting all the employees' information. Number one is, what do you even offer your employees? All right, then second should be collecting all your employees' information. But in this case, it is what it is. All right, determining what kind of pay period they're going to be on and how frequent you're going to pay them, XYZ. All right, how and why to set up payroll schedules? Why do we need to set up payroll schedules?
So you know, when to pay them.
Exactly.
It's either bi-monthly.
To set reminders. Okay, that's a good one. To set reminders. And lastly, to just pay your employees. Right? Not everyone is on the same pay schedule, right? It would be easier to just put everybody on a bi-weekly or whatever it is that you want to pay them as. But yes, for those, if you have salary-based versus your wages-based, right? Salaries, you can make the choice. Should they get paid every 2 weeks or should they get paid twice a month, so on the 15th and the 30th? All right? To pay your employees. Perfect. All right, how to run payroll. So this is the payroll process. This right here is chapter 11, right? Entering the hours for each employee.
Mhm.
Okay, and how to just click the pay. Click pay employees button, right? And the work is done for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, how and why to pay payroll liabilities? Why is it important? Yes,
Yeah, that's the main reason.
right? All right, it is the law. Now, typically, most businesses, if they're brand new, they don't have to pay as often. But if you're a major corporation, that's the easiest form of money that anybody can get from a business. Okay, so in this case, it is the law. Okay, and the second one is why do we need to pay our liabilities? So let's focus on how we pay our liabilities. How do we pay our liabilities?
How do we pay our
Mm-hmm.
liabilities? They can be. They can be monthly, or is that what you mean?
Yes, that is part of it, but how do you pay your liabilities? How do you set up? How do you pay them?
Oh, it goes in what's in your liability, your payroll liability account. You know,
Okay, be a little more specific.
see.
We just looked into this.
Well, don't we have to pay our bill?
Yeah.
You can enter it as a separate bill, yes, but in this case, it's better to use the payroll tender,
Liability account?
not a liability account. This is a very, very basic, easy question. How do you pay your liabilities?
Not
This isn't the question where I'm asking you to like, can I use cash? Of course you can use cash. Of course you can check. This is how in QuickBooks am I going to navigate to pay my liabilities.
Oh, yeah, you can use,
oh
yeah, credit card, cash. I mean, not cash,
Yes,
cash.
yes, yes. I'm not asking that question. I'm asking in QuickBooks, how do you navigate in QuickBooks to pay your liabilities?
well, you go to your payroll liability account and
Where do I
I guess
find
you
this
can
payroll liability account?
in your chart of accounts.
No, that's not how you pay it.
Okay, well, I can't see the menu bar, but I know it's from a menu bar somewhere.
Menu bar. I guess we can explore that and see if we have that.
Okay.
Menu bar, so where? Which one?
Um,
Which menu bar? I'm sorry, which item on the menu bar are we looking at?
banking.
Not banking.
Banking.
They're not considered vendors.
No, it's supposed to be the paying this to the government.
I don't, wait a minute, over there on company, no, that's not it. Oh, pay liability.
Yes,
Oh
it's
yeah.
just pay liabilities.
Yeah, under the employee center.
Yes, you could do that, or you can go into your payroll center, right? But in this case, I didn't pull up that one. On your payroll center, you have the pay liabilities option. That's it. Straightforward. That's why I was trying to get to you. It's so very straightforward. Pay liabilities.
What I couldn't remember was on the home page,
Yeah.
what is one of the icons said.
Mm-hmm. All right. So lastly, how to prepare. Not lastly. How to prepare payroll forms such as 491 and W-2 forms on QuickBooks. Okay, so I did not talk about this one, but this one I'll go ahead and give it to you. So this one is, so if you guys can vaguely remember, when we have, let me see if I can pull it up. I think I can do it. So let me go ahead and open up. Actually, no, I'm going to go ahead and let me click cancel. And let me click out of this and close my company so I can get back to the home page. So close company. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull up my PR processing file. All right, so here it's opening up. Yes, here's the message that says this is a sample file. Okay. Okay. Well, keep thinking. All right, let's go ahead and go straight into the payroll center. Oh. When QuickBooks cooperates and loads all of these windows. My gosh. Okay, cool. Great advertisement. All right, so let me pull this open. So I'm here at my payroll center. So I'm going to go ahead and click this. Now you have three options when you're at the payroll center. You can either pay your employees, you can either pay your liabilities, or fill out your form. Okay? So it's pretty straightforward. All right? Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, that's straightforward.
Yes. You can either file your forms and it will properly fill it out for you. But of course, you need to have the payroll service for them to do that for you.
Oh,
Yes. So in this one, how to prepare payroll, I'm going to say use file form. Yeah, that's it. File forms. Okay. Next one is to track time and use it for payroll or for invoicing customers. So that one we've seen before. If you toggle that you keep track of time, you should have a little menu bar here saying you have a timesheet. So I'm going to actually go to edit. Oop, hit the wrong one. Close that. So I'm going to go to edit. I'm going to go to preferences and I'm going to scroll down to time. All right. And I'm going to say yes. Do you keep track of time? Yes. And I click OK. And then by you activating that, did it go through? Yeah, okay. Oh no, I think yes. Yes. Okay. Okay, it's not letting me go forth. I click OK and it says, oh, you must designate a markup account. Oh, okay, that's why. Designate a markup account. So, markup account. La 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 la. I am actually not going to track reimbursable or any of these things. Let me see if I can go ahead and bypass that. Designate a markup account. I don't think I have one, but let me see. Nope, I can't. No, I cannot bypass that. So I have to do a markup account. Na, 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 na. Okay, so I have to have a markup. So I'm gonna go ahead and add it. Okay, so account name markup. Markup account. Okay. All right, and then here. Okay, it's not gonna let me do it. So in this case, up. All right, I think it went through. Let's see if I go to my home page. Let's see what happens. Yes, I have my enter time. And you can either enter it up as weekly, right? Remember this timesheet when we were struggling our eyes to write down Mr. Mike Mazowski's hours? Yes, you can use this too in order to keep track of your employers. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So here, this is where we can use this as a timesheet for our employees, and that's just to make sure that we can verify our program with our proper payment, right? When we pay our employees, right, we enter in the time. Okay, so this is where we can get that information. Okay, next one is reports. Okay, so a student should know why and how to use the report center. Pretty straightforward, right? It's based on what kind of information you want to seek. So, if I'm going to go, I'm going to kind of try to find my report center. Where is my report center? Oh, I think I missed it. Reports, account. No. Okay, so it's not on my icon bar, but if I go to reports at my menu bar, it pretty much gives me a list of all things that I can run reports for. So it's, again, based on what you are looking for as far as what the reports that you want to produce, right? You can't just go in here and just be like, I'm going to just set a report. It's kind of like you need to have an idea, right? I want to do a report on sales right here. What kind of sales? We have sales by item, sales by representative, sales by customer, XYZ, right? I want to know my profit and loss, right? And that would be under company, right? Oh, dang it, I clicked it. So I'm going to go to my reports again. I'm going to go to company reports one more. So I'm going to go to company not snapshot, company. Where is it? Company. Okay, company and financials. Here, profit and loss, right? I could see what my profit is. Okay, and I could do it based on my profit center, right? I could do it based on the job, based on the item, based on the class, right? I could do it by location. Pretty straightforward. All you need to do is just recognize what you need and what you're looking for when it comes to using the report center. Okay, so that one's pretty straightforward. How to customize reports, pretty straightforward. Once you have a report that's actually there, you have this little nifty button. So let me go ahead and open up a random. I'm going to do a company and financials, and I'm going to go ahead and run a detailed profit and loss. Okay, and you have this little nifty button right here at the top that says customize reports. And what you could do is you could customize what it displays. You could customize what the labels look like. So, aesthetic wise, you could change the font of it. You can change how many items appear on there. X, Y, Z, right? You can use the collapse thing. So, for example, you see, I'm going to close this out real quick. You see this little triangle? You can use that to collapse your information. Okay? Oh, I guess it's not working for me. But you could use that to collapse the information that you have on here. So you're only looking for specific items that you're looking for. Okay, so once you see that little triangle, you should be able to collapse the information. Okay, and that's pretty much it for there. The basic question that each report answers. So again, you need to know that basic question in order to do a report, right? So for example, I ask myself, I want to know what my profit and loss is. Boom. I produce a report based on profit and loss.
Okay.
So basically, yeah, that's pretty much it. How and why to send reports to Excel and how to update/refresh Excel reports for this. So again, I did not teach this. I think I had you guys read this. But yes, you can. You can export your files into whatever you want. And right here we have the Excel option, right? So you can either create a new worksheet or you can update an existing one. So if you create a new one, what it's going to do is it's going to extract this all information and produce it in a nice Excel worksheet for you, right? You can also have the ability to print it as a PDF if you like, for convenience. Okay, so yeah, again, pretty straightforward this is. Again, and why, of course, if it's on an Excel spreadsheet, what can you do with that? You can share it amongst people. You can, create a report on it, like a presentation, right? By pulling up the spreadsheets. And you can also do with Excel, you can also modify it, right? You can change how it looks and how you calculate. So it's pretty straightforward. How and why to process multiple reports. Again, you can do that. It's under the multiple reports where you can have 2 or more reports into one report. Again, that is something that you should definitely, I have you guys read upon. Sorry, I'm going through this because of time. How and why to memorize reports. Again, if you built a customized report and you want to make another report for the next year or for the next month, right? Instead of having to change the same things over and over again, by customizing reports, you pull up that report, just change the dates and times on it, and it will just it will produce the same exact report with the custom headings and custom sections that you want to see. So that's all that is. Okay. All right, basic accounting, a student should know. Again, this is very straightforward. What are the basic financial statements in QuickBooks? Not accounting, in QuickBooks.
Oh, balance sheet,
Yes.
statement of cash flows,
Mm-hmm.
an income statement.
Correct. All right. So those are the 3 that we know in QuickBooks, right? Because in our balance sheet, it already includes our statement of equity. Well, kind of. It gives us the total amount of equity. And remember yesterday, we learned that when we're using QuickBooks and we're potentially closing out our books, QuickBooks automatically updates your equity. So you don't need to do anything. Okay? The only thing that you have to update is just your withdrawals. Okay. Okay, so what is the difference between cash and accrual reports?
Cash recognizes, the reports.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Or the cash records what's been received.
Mm-hmm.
Accrual is reported when transactions have been made, but money has not been received.
Correct. Correct. So accrual, right? We only record transactions when they have incurred or occur, whichever one that you want to use. Incur meaning the time of, occur, same thing. So again, yes. Uh, our cash basis, right? The minute we receive it is when we record it. So for example, if someone owes us money, right? Those transactions will not appear because cash is not received. Whereas an accrual, right? It doesn't matter whether cash has been received or not. If the job is done, the job is done. Okay? So good. And how and why to set a closing date. Okay, good. This is chapter 13. What did we learn yesterday?
Yeah, that was chapter 13.
Yes. What did we learn yesterday? Why is it so important to set a closing date?
To close the period.
Good. But again, what is the physical action when we actually close out the date? What are we doing?
Closing the books.
Okay. What is the physical action? Like, what are we actually doing when we actually close our books? Okay.
Let's see. Just did that.
Yes, we did.
What are we doing physically?
Mm-hmm.
You're locking the transaction.
Yes, we are locking the transactions up and setting a password because once we're completely done with our transactions, you don't want to have it laying around for people to manipulate, to change. So when we're setting up a closing date, we're actually physically locking it up, securing it with a password, and leaving it in a drawer for the accountant to look at later. So yes, you're physically locking up all of your transactions, and yeah, good. All right. Now, how do we do that? Do you guys remember this? This was yesterday.
Go to the administrator.
How? What do you mean by go to the administrator?
Let's see. How did we get to the administrator? Just a moment.
Okay, so I see what you mean by that. Okay, right now because we are the one who created this book, we are the admin.
Oh, right. Oh,
Okay,
that's right.
a regular user cannot close the books
Okay.
because then the regular user has the password and that can get messy. So I'm assuming I'm already the admin. So how do I set the closing date? There are two ways to do it. Well, technically there's three, but I don't count the third way.
Okay. Let's see.
We gotta edit
Edit.
preferences,
Preferences.
company preferences.
Well, we have to pick the category first before we can go to company. So what category are we looking into?
Looks like it says company preferences on the right already.
You have to pick a category in order to do a company preferences.
Oh, okay. Let's see here. Set let's see. That desk view, finance general into the items. No, finance, no. Maybe it's just general.
General. What is the general? General. Company. Do you see to set the closing date?
No.
No. I'll give you a hint since we're kind of short on time. It's accounting.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Here you go at the bottom.
Yeah, it
Set
says right there, accounting
your
preferences, right.
set your closing date. What's the second way you can do it?
Say that again?
What's the second way you can set your closing date?
Oh, that's the second way. Okay. Use a password? That what,
No, this is to set our closing date. Okay, so I said there's a third way. I lied. There is no third way.
Oh my gosh.
I just realized that's not part of that. It's a step in in setting up your account, but it is actually not a question you see when you're doing the easy step interview. You're only
So we
setting
go
up
to
your start date.
company then for this?
Yes, we go to company.
Okay. Um, my
set closing
company.
date.
Set closing date. Yes. Oops, I think I think I'm okay. Yes, set closing date. There you go.
Yeah.
Good. All right. I was thinking it's on the easy step interview. It is not on the easy step interview, but it is one of the 10 steps that you do need to complete when setting up your company file. Again, if you do set the closing date, you're gonna lock up your file immediately. So it's always recommended when you're ready to close out the period, that's when you set your closing date.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so let me see. How to enter a journal entry. All right, so we skipped this question and now we came back to it. So how do you enter a journal transaction?
You go to your chart of accounts.
Chart of accounts. Let me go to my home page. Chart of accounts. Oh, chart of accounts, okay? What else?
And it should journal
Uh,
entries.
I think I'm in the wrong one. No, yes, journal entries. Yes, you could do it this way, but okay. Where's the other way that we can do it? So this is entering it in as a register or using it as a register, okay?
Okay.
Okay, well, the reasons for journal entries is to make adjustments, right?
That's one of them, yes.
Okay, so to make adjustments, well, we just talked about this not long ago.
Yes, we did this yesterday.
Yeah, we just did that. That's yesterday.
Um,
Okay. Wait a second. All of a sudden, I can't read this. Okay.
so we're making adjustments. Well, don't we do the zero check?
That is one way you can do it, yes. You can write a zero check by using the journal entries register, right? Yes. Okay, that's a good one. That's a different way of thinking, but that's only if we're entering in, whether we're recategorizing items or accounts. So yes, that's considered one.
Okay. So there's a third one you said?
Yes. How do we just get to the general journal in general? Oh, jeez. How do we just get to the general journal?
It's not on your homepage.
It's not on the home page.
Um, do we go to file?
Not file.
Edit?
Not edit.
Reports?
Not reports.
Um,
But you're getting warm.
banking?
No, it's not banking. It's definitely not a banking item.
Yeah, that's true.
But you can toggle through it through there, but you're not going to find your general journal there.
Oh, it's not going to be there. Okay.
So is it under company?
Company, yes.
Company.
What does it say right here?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Okay.
Make journal entry, and here it is. Boom. Okay. There it is.
Sure is.
Okay. All right, I guess. Okay, we only have 5 more questions left, so let's go ahead and go over that. So make sure you understand the ins and outs of why we need to make adjustments. Okay. So Lee, you did touch upon yes. When we make adjustments, that's why we use the general journal. Sorry, that's what I meant. What do we use the general journal for? Adjustments is one of them. Correct. What else can we do? Make sure you know all.
Saw your transactions down.
I believe there's 6 things that you need to know for why you use a general journal.
Okay.
All right. So make sure you know those. Okay, that's going to be in chapter 13. Now the next thing here is customization. So again, a student should know, number 1, how and why to memorize transactions. So again, this we learned in chapter 13, not chapter 9. Chapter 13. Why do we memorize reports? Oh, I'm sorry. Why do we memorize transactions?
Well, we memorize the transactions that we do often.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we don't have to
It's in, right.
redo the whole thing.
Exactly. Perfect. How do we memorize transactions? Do you guys remember?
Yeah, we go through. Where was that now? That was chapter 13 too.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. This is from yesterday.
Yesterday.
Well,
God.
memorize journal entries, invoices, sales receipts, bills.
Good. Make sure you know that what you can memorize, what transactions you can, and what transactions you cannot memorize. That's very important as well. Mm-hmm.
Bill payments,
Mm-hmm.
checks,
Mm-hmm.
and receipt payments.
Mm-hmm.
What page are you looking at?
402.
Oh, 402 on page. Okay.
Okay, so I guess it just depends on what it is you want to memorize.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to use enter bills again for an example,
If you said
right?
rent, it's like putting your rent.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go ahead and click previous to try to fill in the information for you automatically. So here, this is, I'm doing a cost of goods. Oh, that's a credit. Okay, let's go back. So here's a bill, right? In order to memorize it, what do we do?
Oh, okay.
Well, up there's an icon for memorize.
Yes.
Correct. Once you memorize it, you're going to title it. So then the next time you have this person or this vendor pop up, you just type in their name and it should automatically fill out the form for you. The only thing that you are going to get different is the actual total amount that you're actually going to be plugging in.
It leaves that open for you. Yeah.
Yes, it leaves that open for you. Okay, so good. Now, next one is how to set up multiple users and what levels. Okay, we already know that one, right? That's from chapter 12. By setting up it, we looked at it before. How to set up a multiple users. You either go to company and set up users. Straightforward. How and why to create custom fields. Okay. This is very important. This is chapter 7. QuickBooks only allows us to do how many? How many custom fields can we have?
15.
15. How much can a person have? Whether it's a customer, vendor, 7. How many items can have?
5.
5. Yes, good. So this applies to the account, right? If we have a main account, you can only have 5 subsections under it. Now, each subsection can have 5 under that, and each, as you go on and go forth, you could do 5 under that, 5 under that, okay? All right, but its maximum is only 5. Okay? And lastly, how to customize an invoice form. Okay? How do you do that?
Go to list
You can go to list.
on the menu bar,
Uh-huh.
and then let's see, it should be template.
Templates. Mm-hmm. And you can customize either the pre-made ones or you can actually build one from scratch. Right? You can just go down here to templates and you can create a new template. Right? Or you can edit an existing one so you don't have to forget, oh, I forgot to put a shipping address on there, or I forgot to put where it came from. So you can always modify an existing template. Yes. Good job. All right. And I'm going to ask you, what is the purpose of creating a custom invoice?
Did you say what is the purpose?
Mm-hmm. Why? Why even bother?
Make it unique to your company.
Exactly. Okay. Well, good job, guys. Okay. Any questions in regards to anything that we discussed or everything we discussed? Okay. This is a good review.